My grandfather was a letter carrier, and my mother was a clerk, and now I'm a letter carrier. Obviously, there's some angst about okay, am I going to be employed in the near future?
Tamara Twinn has been with the post office for 14 years. She works 5 days a week, making up to 500 deliveries a day. What do you wish people knew about the Postal Service?
I wish that people understood that we do not work for taxpayer dollars.
The USPS is funded by selling postage, not just the stamps you buy at drugstores, but the first-class posts sent out by businesses in bulk, like bills and ads. Now in the COVID-19 era, companies don't need to send out mass mailers or paper ads, so they're not. What would America look like if the Postal Service went away?
I think it wouldn't look like America. Every single person across this country, we're delivering Social Security checks. We deliver medications. We deliver anything and everything, whether it is an absolute necessity or just something that you want.
If it doesn't get a bailout, the Postal Service, which was name-checked in the Constitution, will be out of cash by June. By September, it won't be able to cover payroll for 633,000 workers. That's a quarter of the entire federal workforce, and services will be shuttered. The agency is struggling from the pandemic, but it's been struggling for a long time. In 2006, a lame duck GOP Congress passed a law requiring it to, quote, pre-fund health benefits for retirees decades out into the future, something no other federal agency has to do. USPS was suddenly on the hook for billions each year it couldn't afford, while watching revenue drop as everyone stopped sending mail the way they used to. Calls for raising prices or even privatization to save the USPS come down to a central question. Should it be a profit engine or should it be a public service?
I couldn't do my business without the Postal Service.
Artist Carrie Moran McCleary lives and runs her online shop on the Crow Indian Reservation in south central Montana.
I do really feel like they're a partner. I mean, you make this beautiful piece of art, you're putting it in someone else's hands to get to your customer. And not only is it your time and energy, but it's a piece of your soul. I trust the little gal who comes and picks up my mail. She's been doing it for, I think, 6 or 7 years. And before she did it, her dad did it until he got sick.
Why was it important to you to speak out about saving the Postal Service?
It's important to me, and it's important to so many of my fellow artists and other small business people in rural America. We don't live in New York City. We don't live in Chicago. We don't have delivery services available. We have the post office. We've counted on it through rain, sleet, or snow, and apparently pandemic. We need it.
What would you say if you were in the room with the decision makers, who are deciding who gets the next round of funding?
So many people in my community, they do their taxes, they mail them, and then they wait for a check to come back or they mail a check because they don't have bank accounts. They don't have internet. They may not have cell phones. Not everybody in America is on the same playing field.
The next economic relief bill isn't on the congressional agenda right now. It's an open question if the Postal Service would get any help. In the meantime, mail carriers are on the front lines of the epidemic, sorting through millions of pieces of mail and delivering the last mile for the private companies. Some 2,000 postal workers have tested positive with the virus, and at least 40 have died. But thousands continue to work, driving along the bumpy back roads, like blood coursing through the country's veins.
We touch every American, we touch every neighborhood. It would just be tragic if that no longer existed.